Good morning, everyone. We are on the last leg of this chapter 5, Material of the Earth. We've spoken about igneous rock and sedimentary rock. Now, the last part of this chapter is about the metamorphic rock. Now, the word metamorphic has been made of two, this word metamorphism, which means changed form. That means the form has been changed of any rock, and therefore it is called as metamorphic rock. Now, this rock is a tertiary rock. That means this is a rock when all other rocks change because of high temperature or because of high pressure and change into a new form. Then that rock is called as a metamorphic rock. Now, resulting the outcome of that rock is a metamorphic rock. Now, why will the rock change? Either it will be put under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. When the mountain building processes take place, there's a lot of pressure which is put onto a rock and it changes the arrangement of its molecules, the arrangement of its crystals change, and a new rock gets formed. Then we call that as a metamorphic rock. Or when it comes in contact with magma, then some chemical reactions take place in the rock and a new rock gets formed, and that new rock is called as a metamorphic rock. So metamorphism can happen because of volcanic activity or mountain building process. They change their color, texture, and sometimes even mineral composition, and the resulting rock is called as a metamorphic rock. Now, for example, we all have seen chalk or limestone, which is a sedimentary rock, but when it is put under a lot of high temperature and pressure, it changes into marble. Now, chalk and marble, you all have seen both. Chalk is a soft rock, it can absorb water, it is porous, and marble is very hard, not porous, but their chemical composition is the same, that is calcium carbonate. That means there has been something which has happened to chalk or limestone. I can write limestone here instead of chalk because it is one and the same thing. So a chalk or limestone, when it is put under a lot of temperature and pressure, then it changes into marble. So chalk or limestone is a sedimentary rock, but the resulting rock, which is marble, is a metamorphic rock. Though this process is not sudden, sometimes it even takes millions of years to have this rock change from one to another. If this process takes place only because of temperature, we call that as thermal metamorphism. If it takes place because only of pressure, we call that as dynamic metamorphism. And if both of them are working, then we call that as regional metamorphism. So, either temperature or pressure or both. Now, these rocks are very hard. Their crystals are well arranged. Why? Because they have been rearranged because of high pressure and temperature. And since because of high temperature, sometimes chemical reactions take place, so new minerals can be formed when metamorphic rocks get formed. They are impermeable. They are very hard. They are impermeable means they do not allow the passage of water. They do not allow the water to move inside it. Example is quartzite, marble, and graphite. Now, this graphite is actually made from coal. You all have seen coal. Coal is a sedimentary rock. Now, when this is subjected to a lot of temperature and pressure, it changes to graphite. Graphite is your lead in the pencil. So, from sedimentary to a metamorphic rock under a lot of high temperature and pressure. Now, these three rocks we have finished, but we studied that igneous rocks are formed from the solidification of lava. When any rock which is already present on the surface of the earth, whether it is igneous or sedimentary or metamorphic, it breaks down into smaller particles because of weathering, forms sediments. These sediments are transported by wind or water, deposited in the seas or lakes, finally gets compacted and turns into a sedimentary rock. Igneous, sedimentary or metamorphic rock, whatever is present on the surface of the earth, if it is put under a lot of temperature and pressure, it changes its forms and mineral composition, and the resultant rock is called as a metamorphic rock. That is a simple summary of the chapter. But let me tell you one thing, all these three rocks can interchange among themselves. Now, when I say interchange among themselves, what do I mean by that? Interchanging of these rocks means an igneous rock can be broken down into smaller sediments and turn into sedimentary rock. An igneous rock can also be put under a lot of pressure and subjected to a high temperature and change into metamorphic rock. Or because of the mountain building process, an igneous rock can go very deep inside the surface of the earth, melt, form a part of the magma, come up again and get solidified again. So an igneous rock, already existing igneous rock, can turn into a different kind of igneous rock, into a sedimentary rock or into a metamorphic rock. Similarly, a sedimentary rock can go down deep inside the surface of the earth, melt, come up again as lava and become an igneous rock, or break down into smaller particles, form sediments, get compacted again and form a different kind of sedimentary rock, or go down, get subjected to high temperature and pressure and change into a metamorphic rock. The same fate a metamorphic rock can also have. Metamorphic rock can change into another metamorphic rock. Metamorphic rock can break down into smaller particles, become sediments and become a sedimentary rock. Or when a high temperature is being subjected to a metamorphic rock, it might just melt and form a part of magma and get into an igneous rock. This interchange of each other is called as a rock cycle, which is given in your book. Go through that diagram carefully, though this is a very untidy one. You can go through your diagram properly. It's given in a very neat and nice manner, and it's a very, very important question. Now, we studied about igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks. Why are we studying about them? What is so important about these rocks? These rocks are economically very important to us. How? I've listed down certain uses of rocks. They can be used for construction purposes. They have minerals which can be extracted. They have precious stones. They break down into smaller particles and turn into soil. They contain fossil which we study about and get to know about our past. They can be turned into cement, and in the ancient times, rocks were being used as tools. These are some which I have listed out. I expect you to come up with a few more in the next Zoom session, and I'll ask you about them. This is all for this chapter. We have finished it. I have summed it up for you also. In case we have any problems or something which you haven't understood, we can always talk about it in the Zoom session. All right. Bye-bye for now.